Tokyo Osaka.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that was nice about that, I mean, you know, again, this international thing was we met a band called the Ska Flames, and they were just, it was like they had the whole thing down. They had a double bass player. They sounded like the original Skatalites.
You know, like Japanese do, they just study everything and get it completely right.
Sorted out. And it was just joy to play with them.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing when you step up in the sound check and you go, and then they start going,
and Laurel was just like blown away by them.
Yeah.
And that's why he wrote Scar Flames, the tune on True Facts. That was dedicated to them.
That was about them, yeah. No, they're a great band, yeah.
And the other thing, I just, you know, I forget all of these things until it comes up, but the other connection back to the Specials was we worked on the True Fact album as well. I mean, a lot of it was written by Martin and, you know, directed by our drummer Paul Hickson, who sadly died last year. But we worked as a horn section, and he produced the album with Dick Cuthell. And Dick Cuthell was the trumpet player with the Specials, who you will see in those clips. You know, the wonderful moustache and everything. Fantastic musician. And it was great to work with him.
And Dick had worked for Ireland on a lot of production stuff in the in the reggae period in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Catch a Fire.
Dick Cuthell, look him up. He's just a great, he's just a really important man in reggae.
I think he'd been to Warika with Rico.
He worked on Rico's albums. Yeah, Dick Cuthell's the
guitar.
Is it the cornet?
Trumpet and cornet, yeah. Flugelhorn, indeed, yeah.
Anyway, he got us in shape for True Facts. He was a great help to us as a horn section. We learnt a lot from him.
So I'm curious about True Fact and the decision to use drum machines.
Martin and Paul.
Well, it's funny that the decision was made by the drummer to use a drum machine, but I think it was all part of that whole thing of, well, we could get signed here. We could. It went a bit kind of music businessy and make it more. And it was the way music was going then. It was more.
Yeah, well,
sizes, electric. Oh, and Martin got bought a Mirage sampler by his dad.
Santa did it.
Yeah.
The one that was singing on Scar Danger, saying Scar Danger. Do you want a Mirage, son? So Martin got a Mirage.
But I think the other thing is they were really excited about hip hop. You know, they were excited about the early rap with really stripped down 808 drum machines or whatever. You know, all those stripped back stuff. And and there was a bit of a scacid thing going on. I don't know, you know that kind of thing with Longsy D here in the UK. And a few just individual tunes where people were kind of putting a bit of electronic beats behind ska and bringing it up to date and making dance music again, you know, and we're interested in that, but, you know, and that was our go at it, you know.
I mean, I do think that from the start, Simon, you probably might be able to comment, but the ethos of the Potato Five had been like a punky, experimental type ethos. No, we weren't musicians who were brilliant technically. We had passion and the feeling, and we loved the music, and that was it, you know. And this was all part of experimenting and looking around for other influences and things that you loved that you wanted to stick in, you know.
Yeah, and I think there's always a tension between wanting to move forward, look forward, do something new, and be inspired by music from the past, which you love. But it's always a problem if you're doing things within a musical genre. You know, what's the point of just pretending to be the Skatalites or, you know, all of those bands? So, you know, because it's done. They did it so much better than you could ever do. So you have to find somewhere.
Do either of you like True Fact?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. And also Skasid, is that how we pronounce it?
Yeah.
Skasid!
This is a virtually unknown thing in the US, but this was a brief movement in the UK at this time period.
Acid house meets ska.
Yeah.
Well, we did the gig at the Town and Country, which is with Longsy D and Bad Manners playing or something. It's with Dougie anyway. And that is This Is Ska.
This is Ska. This is Ska. This is Ska. Ska. This is Ska. The sound of Ska. This is Ska. Ska.
Which then Bad Manners took on and still having their set to the day, don't they?
Yeah, and that's a Longsy D tune.
A Longsy D.
Yeah, and Longsy D.
Yeah, that was a good night, I remember.
But that was a rare one, because I think our problem was that we were a live band, and you can tell, up to now, we talked, all of our explanation is how well we went down with this sound with our audiences. Of course, as soon as you bung in an electronic program B, back in them days, you haven't got a live offering of at all. Do you know what I mean? In a way, it then created a bit of a division between our recorded profile and our performance profile. We were still getting big audiences and being booked around the country with colleges, universities, and festivals. But then we produced a record that was a bit of a chin scratcher.
But we've never really done a lot of the records live. I mean, Reburial, I think, is the one that was. We've just been playing today. We're going to be playing at the Ska Festival on Sunday.
Which is a cover. It's an old tune. I mean, I suppose the other thing about that, I mean, the difference between the two records is that when, Gaz's idea about recording, and he had, who's that DJ's son? Doing the producing.
Damien Corner was
called Damien Corner, so
Alexis
Corner's son. But the idea was pretty much to record everything as live as possible. Mm-hmm. So I think...
Yeah, he wanted to reproduce Studio One. He wanted a mic in the middle and everyone standing around.
Yeah, but we weren't quite up to that.
Yeah, well, and he wasn't Cox and Dodd, to be honest.
And we weren't Skatalites.
But,
that was the idea.
Worth a try.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, one of the things about, again, with Laurel, my recollection, I might have got this wrong, but I think, Man About You was pretty much put together in the studio very quickly. Laurel had a tune. And Laurel could do that. He was very good at, he would play the piano, he would sing, and he'd say, it goes like this, guys, and, bang, bang, bang. And it was pretty much a couple of takes, wasn't it? And that was...
That's one. It's a long time I've been watching.
That's
the one that was a jam, and then Gaz releases it.
Yeah. That didn't.
We were just testing it out, and it goes on the record.
And I remember thinking, this is dragging on. So I start playing all the wrong notes, which is a good way to get a song to stop. And then that's actually released on the record. You can hear me going.
So this the final period of the band. You did Spider Johnson sang on with you for a little bit, Do the Jerks, probably the most known song from that era, right?
He's back with us now, and we've
been with him today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's part of the
reunion,
revived version of the band. Yeah,
because he's the singer that's still alive.
Well, and Spider has a lot of, he has a lot of pedigree as well. He worked with Lee Perry. He can drum, he can play the keyboards, and guitar, and write songs. So he's a talent, and it's great, and he's fun live. A little bit unpredictable.
Before you guys broke up, you guys came to the U.S. one time, right?
Yeah.
It was like 89 or 88 or something like that.
89.
They broke the band. You guys broke us. The States.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard that you guys didn't have a great time in the U.S. What was the tour like?
No, we did. We
had a brilliant time.
We had a lovely time.
We had a great time. It was a very badly organised tour from, I don't know, Gerald. You probably know Gerald, too. From Long Beach.
Yeah.
He was
God bless him. God bless him.
Yeah,
it was great. But we didn't
have any accommodation.
We had no accommodation.
Let's Go Bowling floors. We've been with Dave Weens from Let's Go Bowling, who I know you've spoken to before.
Yeah.
We're with him tonight. And he just reminds us of